So what I'm holding in my hands right now is a Hasselblad X2D, and this is the Earth Explorer edition. And I realized that a lot of salesmen, when you go up to them and they try to sell this camera, they don't actually know how to sell you this camera, because this camera costs $8,000 US. In Singapore, it's more than $12,000, probably closing in on $13,000. Now, if the salesperson is trying to sell you a $2,000 or $3,000 camera, it is easy for them. They know how to justify the differences between the $2,000 and the $3,000 camera, but when it comes to $8,000 worth of camera, just the body alone, they don't actually know how to sell it. So today I'm going to try my best to try to sell you this. Now, this is a medium format camera, so the sensor is actually a medium format sensor, 44mm across and 33mm down, and this is 70% bigger than a full frame sensor. And this is a backside illuminated sensor. The native ISO goes down to 64. So some other cameras, yes, they go down to 50, but that is boosted and it's not native ISO. The color bit depth that is coming out of this sensor is a 16-bit color, meaning to say it can generate 281 trillion colors. That's 281 followed by 12 zeros. The dynamic range on this is 15 stop dynamic range, meaning to say it will capture colors and light from the darkest to the brightest across a 15 stop dynamic range. In other words, just good pictures. Now, it is also backed by the HNCS, Hasselblad Natural Color Science. So there's no film simulation here. Every picture that comes out of this is just pure color. Now, it has face detect autofocus. So it is faster than contrast detect autofocus, and it has a coverage of 97% of the entire medium format sensor inside. It also has a built-in in-body image stabilization, 5-axis, 7 stops. You can literally handhold this for 1 second shot and you still get a clear, sharp image. The other thing is it has a built-in memory, 1 terabyte of built-in. So it does have a slot for a CF Express Type B memory card, but you don't need this already. Without the memory card, you get 4,000 over raw images that can be shot into the camera. No need to remember to bring your SD card or CF Express card anymore. And the 1 terabyte speed inside here is on an SSD. It is 8 times faster than the fastest SD card that you can find. And behind this, you'll see a huge screen. This is 3.6 inches. Doesn't sound like a lot over the 3-inch screens that you find on other mainstream cameras, but this is big and beautiful. You can really see. Okay, how is this looking? Okay, so the screen is 2.36 million dots, right? Meaning it's pretty high resolution. It is also touch sensitive and it is tiltable, right? Tiltable up to this degree, maybe not very high, but yeah, it is tiltable. There is also a screen at the top. This is a 1.08 inch screen. It's OLED display and it tells you the settings and it shows a couple of status on the screen here itself. And right at the top, there is a EVF here. This electronic viewfinder is a 5.76 million pixel OLED finder, and it is 1.0x magnification. Using this to focus, using this to review your images is just perfect. It is smooth, it is fast, and it's as good as an optical viewfinder. Now, not to mention that you are actually getting HUI. What is HUI? Hasselblad User Interface. So basically, it is a very easy to use interface where you can just select the f-stop, you can select the ISO just from the screen. If you use this and you're coming from any other mainstream camera manufacturer and their interface, you will be in for a surprise. This is really easy to use and it lets you focus on operating the camera as a photographer, not as a camera operator. And the whole chassis itself is milled and produced out of a single block of aluminum. I know the BF camera from Sigma, it says that, but you know, they don't really sell this point, but this is also a single block of camera. The design, the holding is fantastic. It feels good in your hands and it feels really solid. There's also the interface to talk about. This is a high-speed USB-C port, right? It charges PD 3.0 and it also transfers at up to 10 megabits per second. You can use it to tether to your iPad, to your Mac, to your PC for shooting. And not to mention that it also has Wi-Fi. In fact, you can actually control it using your iPhone and you will be able to shoot directly from the iPhone like a remote control. Once you get into the Focus 2 app using the Hasselblad provided software, you are then able to do a series of post editing, and most notably the noise reduction. HNR, the Hasselblad noise reduction, it is a fantastic piece of software. Now, not to mention that ultimately this relies on leaf shutter, meaning to say you are able to reach sync speeds of up to 1/4000 seconds, no longer limited by the 1/200, 1/180, 250 of any other camera out there. The leaf shutter is built into the lens itself. So is this camera now worth $8,000 to you? Well, if you are not a serious photographer, I don't think it is, because this doesn't shoot video. But if you are willing to invest $8,000 into photography, you are a serious photographer, and this camera might just be the one for you.